What's up, everyone? It's your host, Ghost, coming to you live with another wonderful video. How's everyone doing? I'm back. Yes, I am back. I know. You've all missed me. I know. I'm a very important person, right? Oh, I just got up and I'm fucking exhausted. I haven't had to get up early in the last couple days. Yeah, I'm back. I just came back from vacation. Took my wife to Canada. We had a jolly good time. Oh, sorry. You're just waking up. And it's been a minute since I had to do this, so now I don't know what to say. Um, Anyways, yeah, I took my wife up to Canada for our fifth anniversary. We got back yesterday. We had a good old time. Um, Anyways, how's everyone doing today? Got a few things we're gonna talk about. 14th Amendment challenge has been filed against to try and prevent Donald Trump from racing in 2024. It's not very intelligent, actually. And we'll talk about why in here in a second. And then uh, Vic, I can't. I know his name is Vivek, but Vic, as I like to call him. What the fuck is on? Oh, okay. Apparently, he's been on the campaign trail. He's been rapping Eminem lyrics. And Eminem does not like that. So he's filed a cease and desist letter over it. So we'll look at that. We'll read into that. But yeah, Eminem does not says no. He says no to Indians. No, I'm just joking. And then another poll has found that Biden is too old for a second term. We discussed this already, so we're just gonna do a quick scan and just see if there's anything new. I don't even remember the last. What was the last poll I did? But maybe I can find it in a second. And then New Yorkers are protest. New Yorkers of New York, a sanctuary city that they all loved and enjoyed, are now protesting outside the mayor's mansion, again, protesting against the large influx of migrants that are coming into the city. Ugh, they're very upset about it. So, I mean, we don't really have a news article about it, but we'll take a look at the video, or maybe I'll look up a news article and see if I can find it. And then we got two videos that we'll watch of people who have had enough of these dumbass protesters that like to stand in the street and block people's fucking day. So we'll look into that. We'll watch those and laugh and maybe have some comments. And then finally, those damn paper straws. I know the crappy paper straws that that we all have to deal with because got to protect the turtles. Blah blah fucking blah. Well, they may contain chemicals that are both harmful to the environment and people. So they might not be as good as people kept thinking. So that was kind of funny. So we'll check that out. Let me see. Hmm. All right, well there is a news article. Sorry, I'm just looking up articles for this thing. Okay, let's see. Okay, I can't find the old CNN article that I read for you guys, which is fine. All right, it's fine. No big deal. Okay. All right. Oh, that's all. Sorry, I'm just looking a few more things up. Sorry, I'm still looking. All right. Sorry, I was looking things up, trying to because I have something I want to talk about when it comes to this 14th Amendment crap. It's kind of hard to find like specifically what you're looking for, because God forbid you find what you're specifically looking for. All right. So here we go. Sorry, I know I wasted a bunch of time, but it's my job to waste time, right? All right. So it looks like there's been federal charges filed against President Trump to be removed from the 2024 election race, whatever, under the 14th Amendment. Now, I'm sure some of you are wondering, what in the world is the 14th Amendment? Well, let's pull it out. God. All right. So, here we are. All right, so this is the 14th Amendment. It's the amendment that was passed after the Civil War, the Reconstruction era. That's what it's generally, that was part. There's like three of them. This was one of them. Oh man! All right. So, one of the first things it did was like all people born or naturalized in the United States were now considered citizens of the United States. So that's what it first did. So, if you're wondering why, illegal immigrants can come here, give birth to a kid, and then that kid's a U.S. citizen, this is why. Um, but sorry. So the big thing that it does is right here. No, right here, section 3. That's the big thing it does. It says no person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or elector of president or vice president or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or under any state who has previously taken an oath as a member of Congress or as an officer of the United States or as a member of any state legislature or as an executive or judicial officer of any state to support the Constitution of the United States shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same, or given aid or comfort to the enemy thereof. But Congress may by a vote of 2/3 of each house remove such disability. So that's the big one. So that's one they're talking about when they say the 14th Amendment. It's Section 3. So the claim is that Donald Trump engaged in insurrection by with the whole January 6th thing. Now, here's the thing that these people really don't understand. This was for this is for politicians that were. I mean, it's obvious that it was because it was sorry. This was put into trying to prevent some high-ranking and political Confederates from gaining office and just basically rehashing what we already dealt with in the Civil War. This was for basically the worst of the worst, but there were still plenty of individuals that ran for office that were Confederates that were granted office and some, and et cetera, et cetera. Oh, excuse me. Let's see. So the vice president of the Confederacy, Alexander Stevens, was one such person. He was held in prison in Boston until 6 months after the war ended. He was a rabid racist and became a governor of Georgia. Let's see. Someone else did. And then there was Joe Johnston. He was a general as well, and he served one term as a Democratic Congress. So there was still plenty of political generals of from the Confederacy that served in Congress or or anything like that. And let me see. And there were officers. There were officers that also were, still, elected members of government. Charles Clark. He served as governor of Mississippi, and well, at least until May 22nd, 1865. So that may have been after the or before the amendment was even passed, but still. It's really hard to find because there's like 1,000 of these fucking fuckers. Let's see. I can't find like the list of fucking assholes at All right, well, I guess I'll just skip this part. But basically, the point of the matter is, these were people that participated in the actual secession of the United States, or of Confederate States and United States and all that stuff. And there was still plenty, there's still a good amount that ended up serving. I know I only mentioned two, but there still were a good amount that still ended up serving afterwards as, either, public office or something like that. And I think we can all agree that being Confederate, being a Confederate in the Civil War was far worse than anything these January 6th fuckers did. Like, come on, like, and this was an actual insurrection. It wasn't like this, oh, we're just going to call it an insurrection because it looks good in the papers thing, which is exactly what January 6th is. It wasn't really an insurrection because what, like, they didn't have any, like, they didn't have any arms. They didn't have any food supply line. Like, there was no way they could like realistically even think they could hold the capital, even if that's what they were trying to do, which is what they weren't trying to do. Like, come on. Oh, my fucking neck. Oh, slipped on a weird. I wasn't used to a comfy bed. I don't know. But yeah, so I mean that's generally the point I was trying to make here is there were still people that served, and a lot of these people also became like successful businessmen after the war and continued their racist behavior. Um, so this whole idea of, oh, we're gonna try and prosecute Trump via the 14th Amendment to make him ineligible for 2024. I also think you have to actually also convict him of treason. I think that would probably be a portion of requirement because you can't just say, "Oh, this person participated in treason," and they can't run anymore. You'd have to actually prove that yes, they were part of the treason, conspiracy, or insurrection, or anything like that. And I don't think they even have that. I mean, most of the charges they have against Trump don't even come close to that. I think he's being. I think he was indicted for January 6th, but it's pretty hard to convict someone when they went and said on live television and Twitter, "Go home, stay home. This isn't what you need to do." So, like, here's an example. So here's Donald Trump's tweet from January 6th, 2021. Right here. It says right here, I am asking everyone at the U.S. Capitol to remain peaceful, no violence. Remember, we are the party of law and order, respect the law, and our great men and women in blue. Thank you. Support Capitol Police. They're truly on our side. So I mean, that's like what Donald Trump was tweeting while this was happening. So it's going to be very hard to even try and do this whole 14th Amendment. It's just another play. I mean, also because there's just been there's also been the trials that have been set for Donald Trump is Super Tuesday, apparently. I can't remember for which trial. There's so many. But it's clear that these actions that are being taken are trying to interfere with the election. He's far more popular. Every time he's get laid in an indictment, he becomes more popular. I really hope that Trump wins, and after he wins, he pardons himself of all the federal charges because that would be hilarious. That'd be really, really funny because he could do that. I mean, there's nothing in the Constitution that says you can't pardon yourself for federal crimes. You can't pardon yourself from impeachment, but federal crimes you can pardon yourself. So now, no president has done that, so he would be first. But first time for everything, right? And that'd be really funny. All right, let's get off that because I didn't really ended up having as much to say as I thought I was going to. Couldn't find what I was actually looking for. So I know there's more. I just couldn't remember who. All right, let's go with this again. So Eminem takes legal action against Vivek Ramsawama over rapping his music at campaign events. I know that's his name, Vivek, but I call him Vic because it's easier for me, and I'm lazy. GOP president candidate campaign receives a cease and desist letter from performance rights organization BMI. The fake Slim Shady is sitting down. This is an article from NBC News, so just FYI, probably going to be fairly biased against a GOP candidate. GOP candidate Vic, who has taken to rapping on the campaign trail, appears to be backing down after Grammy Award-winning rapper Eminem asked him to stop performing his songs at campaign events. To the American people's chagrin, we will have to leave the rapping to the real Slim Shady. Trisha McLaughlin, a spokesperson for the campaign, said Monday night in a text message. And a cease and desist letter obtained by NBC News and first reported by the Daily Mail, the performance right organization BMI told Ramswamy campaign Wednesday that it has received a communication from Marshall B. Mathers III, professionally known as Eminem, objecting to Vivek's campaign use of Eminem's musical compositions. BMI will consider any performance of the Eminem works by the Vivek 2024 campaign from this date forward to be a material breach of the agreement for which BMI reserves all rights and remedies with respect thereto, the letter said. Vic 38 responded Monday on X. Will the real Slim Shady please stand up? He didn't just say what I think he did he? Okay. The post refers to one of Eminem's most popular song, The Real Slim Shady, released in 2000. BMI did not immediately reply to requests for comment. Ramswamy grabbed headlines when he rapped Eminem's "Lose Yourself" on stage at the Iowa State Fair. An older video from Vic's senior year at Harvard University in 2006, when he rapped the 2002 hit under his stage name Devek, as also went viral. I gotta watch this shit. Ramswamy isn't the first presidential campaign to get pushback from artists over the use of their music. And in 2015, Neil Young's longtime manager said Donald Trump was not authorized to use "Rockin' in the Free World" in his presidential candidacy. Announced 15 years earlier, George W. Bush was asked to stop playing the 1989 hit "I Won't Back Down" by Tom Petty. Okay, so I mean, looks like Vec, the guy asked Vec, or Eminem asked Vec, "Hey, stop doing this," and Vec said, "Okay, sure, no problem." Okay, barely gonna listen. Let's take a listen to this. This should be funny as fuck. Oh shit! I'm sorry. Hold on. I didn't even share it with you guys. I'm so sorry. So sorry. So sorry.
Loud. He opens his mouth, but the words won't come out. He's joking how everybody's joking now. The clock's run out, time's up, over, plow, snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, there goes gravity. Choke. He's so mad, but he won't give up that easy. No, he won't back that he knows his own bad that he's hopes. His own bad that he's told. He don't matter, but he's told. He's so sad that he knows when he goes back to this moment.
Oh, it cuts out. So
Back to the
rude.
lab, yo, the soul rhapsody. I hope it don't catch. Lose yourself in the music, the moment.
That was funny as hell, honestly. uh, hold on. Okay, I think I got it back. So let's try this again.
The clock's run out, time's up, over, plow, snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, there goes gravity. Choke. He's so mad, but he won't give up that easy. Oh, he won't back that he knows his own bad that he's hopes. His own bad that he's told. He don't matter, but he's old. He's so sad that he knows when he goes back to this mobile home that's when it's back to the lab, baby, yo, the soul rhapsody. Better go capture this moment and hope it don't catch you. Lose yourself in the music, the moment you own. That was the song.
So dumb, but funny as hell. Yeah, I like Vic. Like Vivek. I think he'd be a pretty good president at some point. Again, I've spoken on this multiple times. I don't think there's any way, shape, or form he wins the candidacy. I don't think so at all. Um, yeah, I just don't think it's possible. But I think he would be a great like cabinet member, even vice president, maybe to Donald Trump. I think that would be the best option. I think it'd be really great. I think it would help strengthen his oh, what's the word? Strengthen his like creds basically. So he's 38 now. Let's see, who's the youngest president? So like to be president now, 39. I think he'd end up being the youngest president. Yeah. So the youngest president is Theodore Roosevelt. So Theodore Roosevelt is the youngest president, but Kennedy is the youngest president that was sworn into office. Because I guess because Theodore Roosevelt was elected after an assassination, so he was vice president to William McKinley. William McKinley was killed, and so then he became president by the Constitution. So he is technically the youngest president, but the youngest president to be uh, elected is Kennedy, was 43. So yeah. So if Vivek gets elected, 43, and he'd be probably he'd be one of the youngest, but he wouldn't be the youngest. So I mean, but yeah, I don't think he'd end. I don't think he becomes president. I think he's ends up being on someone's cabinet. I think he'd be a great vice president. I think if Trump gets the election, it would be intelligent for him to have Vivek in his cabinet. I would say vice president, but it's really up to obviously him. But it would be a great way to kind of somewhat appoint a successor, basically. Have someone that apparently shares the same ideals that you do, supports you and everything. And I mean, look, I don't know what's in his heart, but he talks a good game, and I like him. So it would be very funny to have him as president. And it sounds like he might do some good for the country. So I don't think there's be anything terrible if he ended up becoming president. All right, so we're gonna do this next one. So overwhelmingly majority of Americans say Biden is too old to be effective in second term poll finds. 69% of Democrats say Biden is too old to run again. I believe that's higher from before. I think it was like 66, like literally a third or 2/3. So it's up 3%. So hey, there's that. Let's find out. When it comes to Democrats, I mean. An overwhelming majority of Americans believe President Biden is too old to effectively carry out the office of presidency for another 4 years, a Monday poll found. The Associated Press NORC poll found that 77% of Americans say Biden is too old to carry out a second term, while an unsurprising 89% of Republicans expressed the sentiment. An impressive 69% of Democrats also say Biden is no longer up to the task. Meanwhile, fewer than half of Americans say former President Trump is too old to hold office, despite him being just 3 years younger. Yeah, but after 4 years, he would be, just slightly older than Biden would be starting his second term. That's the thing. The AP conducted its poll from August 10th to 14 using a sample drawn from NORC's probability-based Ameri Speak panel, which is designed to be representative of the U.S. population. The margin of sampling error for all respondents is plus or minus 3.8%. The poll further found that American voters increasingly support wide-range rules aimed to keeping American leaders young. Roughly 2/3 of Americans say they support imposing age limits on the presidency, Congress, and support the Supreme Court. The poll comes just one day after Bernie Sanders, independent, I guess, of Vermont, defended Biden on his age during an appearance on NBC's Meet the Press. Host Chuck Todd asked the self-described Democratic Socialist via his advice for the president on how he should assuage these concerns to the public about his age. I met with the president 5 or 6 weeks ago. We had a great discussion. He seems fine to me. Well, you're 81. So anyone younger than you seems fine. Oh my fucking God. What is going on here? One way to make it clear that age isn't a factor with you is you're pretty energetic. We see you travel the country, you show up, do interviews. It's clearly an issue for many voters when it comes to President Biden. Dude, President Biden doesn't know where fucking his ass is half the time. A candidate, whether it's Joe Biden or Trump or Bernie Sanders, anyone else, they have to evaluate a whole lot of factors, Sanders says. I think at the end of the day, what we have got to ask ourselves is, what do people stand for? Do you believe that women have a right to control their body? Whatever. There you go. So there's that. Biden's way too fucking old. Dude, he's like a geriatric at this point, honestly. I'm really concerned about having him as president. I don't think he's really fit for office. He has trouble knowing where left is. But yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. And it's not surprising 69% of Americans think Biden's too old to be president. It's not surprising that people don't think Trump is too old. Because there's a big difference between coming in and leaving office at what? And Biden is going to be what, 72? Dude, he's 80. Oh shit. So he's gonna be 81. Wow, I thought I gave him a lot less credit. But it's one thing to be okay. Well, then never mind what I said about Bernie Sanders. Gorgeous, he finds him. He's a year younger. So yeah, shows you how much I pay attention to Biden. But yeah, if he's elected, he'll be 81. Okay, 81, and then he'll be 80. Okay, well, he would start his second term at 82. So 4 years, 86. Now, Trump is 3 years younger. So what? He's 77 currently. It would be 78 on election day of 2024. So 4 years, he'd be 82. So basically, 82, 83. So he would leave office when, at the time that Biden would start, at the same age that Biden would start office. And that's a big difference when it comes to, ending and starting. And at least Trump has like some, like, it looks like he has some, good amount of mental capacities. I haven't really seen him in any like debates, but he still has his energy, it seems. So, I mean, obviously he's a better choice than Biden. And obviously it doesn't surprise me that people would be like, yeah, his age isn't as big of a deal to us. Biden age is, because, again, if you're leaving office and starting office, at this ages are the same. Leaving office at 82, 83 is a lot better than starting office at 82, 83. So, all right. Well, there's that time again. That time again is this coffee brand coffee. That is my sponsor. Well, affiliate. I don't know, sponsor, whatever. Affiliate. Yeah, I think affiliate. I'm affiliate of Coffee Brand Coffee, delicious coffee company. That is what you are seeing me drink right now, is Coffee Brand Coffee. It is by far my favorite coffee company, just because of the name alone, but also because it is delicious. They have a variety of ranges of coffee. The classics, light to dark roast, and some Ethiopian light. They got bourbon flavored. I got Cinnabon, but my personal favorite Hold on. Hold on. There we go. Okay. So yeah, lights, dark, bourbon, all that stuff. But my personal favorite is this one right here, French toast flavored. It's my personal favorite. That's the one I'm drinking currently. It is delicious. Now, if you're not a coffee drinker, but you are a tea drinker, well, Coffee Brand Coffee has something for you as well. They have a variety of different teas: Earl Grey, English breakfast, green tea, chamomile, oolong, to name classics. But they got some unique ones as well: apple pie, biscotti, oolong, raspberry, rose petal, mint, and all that, cocoa chai, etc. So if you're not a coffee drinker, but you're a tea drinker, there's something for you. And if you're not a coffee or tea drinker, well then, fall is coming. Winter will come shortly after. There's some delicious cocoa. Now, I don't know really if it is delicious, but I assume so by their coffee, because if you can make coffee, how can you fuck up cocoa? They have 3 different kinds: velvety, rich caramel, marshmallow. Eventually, I'll get myself some delicious cocoa. And then, there's some cold brew if you're into cold brew, but they also have snacks. If you're feeling snacky, you got a variety of nuts and some saltwater taffy. Yes. So here we are. Coffee Brand Coffee. It is the place to go for your coffee brand needs. Now, you see that coupon code right there scrolling across. Coupon code goes. You can use that, get 10% off. But also, what you can do is use this referral link right here. Right here is that referral link you can use. You can it'll help you get that 10% off as well. It's in my description if you want to find copy and paste it, make it easier on yourself. But yeah, use that referral link. I'll show it again one more time. Here we go. Referral link right there. Boom. Ba-boom. All right. So use that referral link. It'll get you 10% off, or you can use that coupon code GHOST to get 10% off, or not 10%. It's 5% for both of them. Sorry. 5% for both of them. 10%. Man, that's great. No, what's 10% is if you use the sorry. If you use the sorry, my neck is killing me. If you subscribe, you get 10% off. And as a subscription does not work with the coupon code, so you can't get 10% plus an additional 5% off. But you can still use that referral link and give me the credit because I deserve some credit, right? Because I brought it to you, correct? Absolutely. But yeah, check out Coffee Brand Coffee. It's a delicious coffee company. And yeah, check them out. Oh, the unique thing about Coffee Brand Coffee is they roast to order, meaning they don't start roasting until you order it. So it's as fresh as you could possibly do it without going to a store that does it or doing it yourself, which I don't even know how you would do it yourself, but I digress. All right. Oh, my daughter's making noises. I can hear her from upstairs. Okay. So let's see. So we got a few things we're going to check out here. So yeah, like I was saying before, there is some protest going on. People are very protesty right now. All right, so you can hear them. They're chanting, "Send them back." So they want them to be sent back. Now, who do they want to send back? Well, migrants. This is a protest going on currently in New York, and obviously, share screen, and of course, this New York being a sanctuary city, it's what we would like to call ironic. Just doing something real quick. All right, but yeah, there we go. All right, so here is an article from Fox News via MSN. Clashes between protests and counter protests sprang up outside New York City. Mayor's Eric Adams' official residency in Manhattan on Sunday as hundreds of people from Staten Island protested the opening of a new migrant shelter in the borough. Guardians Angels founders Curtis Sliwa called on Adams to house asylum seekers at Gracie Mansion, the official residence of New York City's mayors, instead of in shelters spread through the 5 boroughs. Adams had previously pledged to house migrants in Casey's mansions before backing away from the idea. Of course he did. He's like, I don't want them in my house. Footage captured outside Gracie Mansion shows a counter protest clashed with the group. People can be heard in video calling the counter protest Antifa. Antifa has been sending out emails and tweets all weekend. Sliwa told Fox News Digital, saying they would be there to smash the xenophobes, including me and Eric Adams. Their whole goal was to smash the xenophobes, Sliwa said of the counter protesters. Sliwa is also seen in the video telling protesters stand behind a police barricade that was set up for the safety and security, and also tried to break up arguments among the two groups. NYPD officers are seen intervening, taking several people into custody. Sliwa was among 5 individuals arrested during the protest. Sliwa, an 81-year-old man and woman, and an 80-year-old woman were charged with obstructing governor administrations and disorderly conduct. A 32-year-old man, a 31-year-old woman were charged with assault, the report said. And the guy was also additionally charged with resisting arrest. Spokesperson for Adams released a statement to Fox News Digital New Yorkers are weary of bearing the brunt of this national crisis. Oh, you're wary. Okay. All right. We'll get into that in a second. The national crisis. We empathize with their concerns. With more than 100,000 asylum seekers that have come through our intake system since spring 2022, hundreds continue to arrive in our city asking for shelter daily. New York City has been left largely alone to deal with the national crisis that demands difficult decision making. Oh, really? We have opened 206 sites, including 15 large scale humanitarian relief centers. We are constantly searching for new places to provide asylum seeking with the shelter they are asking for. But let's be clear, this situation demands broader state and national solutions. Oh, really? The latest protest was against a migrant shelter in St. John Villa Academy, a former school in the Arrochin neighborhood of Staten Island, is now owned by the city. On Friday, a judge temporarily granted a temporary restraining order blocking the city from housing migrants in the building. The order, however, was reversed hours later when the city won its appeal. Another protest was scheduled for 6 p.m. Monday outside the former school. An estimated 100,000 asylum seekers have come to the state in the last year, with most arriving in New York City and filling up homeless shelters. All right. And then the mayor and governor of New York have asked President Biden to help with search migrants. It's funny to me. This is a sanctuary city, meaning that they accept illegal immigrants. They accept all and will protect them. And now, when they have an influx of it, now it's an issue. And of course, it's an issue. But, let's see, where was that comment? New Yorkers are wary of bearing the brunt of this national crisis. You're wary. Well, why don't you? What about, I don't know. How about we talk about the people of Texas, Texans, Arizonans, Californians, even though they're a sanctuary city too. So I guess they don't matter. States. Hold on. So Arizona, New Mexico, Texas. Okay, there's more than that. Isn't there more than that? Hold on. I just need a fucking image. I don't need all. Okay. Okay, I guess that's it. So yeah. So, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas. These are the states that border Mexico. So what about all those states that, have to deal with this constantly and the federal government have prevented from stopping anyone from coming in? Okay, what about them? Okay, you're a sanctuary city. You saying that it's okay. We will protect you. We won't deport you. We'll protect you. So, if that's the case, how is this? Why are you wary from bearing the brunt of this national crisis? Because you're not. 100,000? I bet there's a lot more in these border states. Come on, don't even try this bullshit. You got what you paid for. You all right? You guys were all up in arms. Yeah, let's help the immigrants. Blah blah blah. Fucking blah. But now, when it's actually your ass on the line, you're like, hey, let's take a step back and think about this. So yeah, go fuck yourselves. Haha. That's what I think. Haha. Oh, I'm sorry, I had to stretch. All right. So we're gonna watch 2 videos, And I got one more article to talk about, and then we'll be done for the day.
Watch out, watch out! Watch out! Watch out, let him through, out the way, out the way, out the way.
This guy doesn't give a fuck. All right, that's that video. Blocking, bro. This guy's like, I don't give a fuck.
Watch out! Watch out, let him through, out the way, out the way, Pat.
Yeah, FYI, if you're a pedestrian, a car beats you every fucking time. All right, here we go. Here's this one. This is, what is this? Nevada.
Yeah.
Get out now! Get out! On the ground! All of you on the ground now! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Don't move!
And you're blocking the way. So, look, is this maybe, over, actually, I don't really know what the story on this is. But, some may believe that, hey, this is police overstepping their bounds or the laws, whatever. You're probably right. I'm kind of okay with it just because I hate these fucking protesters that block the road. A little bit of hypocriticalness on my side, more than likely. I'll probably dive more into deep with this tomorrow, but we'll see. Okay. So, yeah. So I'll look into this more probably tomorrow because I think it's a hilarious story. But yeah, so not only does he just ram their fucking their little fucking trailer thing that they're using to block traffic, by the way. Not only does he do that, but then he arrests them too. I don't know what the charges are, but I'll probably dive into that more. But I think a lot of Americans are probably, look, I don't know. I would have to see what the charges are and everything. So it might be, these are tribal rangers. Oh, well, that's even better, honestly. These are tribal police guys. Oh shit. Oh man, this is even better. All right, well then it's all free game because the tribals can make their own laws. All right. Oh, I'm diving into the story. Okay, yeah, I don't have time to do it now because I spent all the time, but I'm doing this tomorrow. I'm definitely checking this out tomorrow. We'll talk about this tomorrow. This is gonna be good. All right, I'll save my comments for later. But no, what I will say is a lot of Americans are getting very tired of these fucking protesters that get on the streets and like look. I believe protesting is 100% a right of ours. I think it's a waste of time for the most part because half the time, like a good amount of the time, like an example, of course, of this, there are a lot more like useless protests than actual effective protests. Like back in the civil rights era, when there were protests, those were actually effective and useful. These protests are just annoying and irritate more people. And the comment on that first video I did, or the first short I did. The get out of the way, get out of the way. Some English dude or whatever. The guy wrote, um, how do you expect people to be on your side if you annoy them? And that's 100% true. That's what these marching protests in the street do. They just annoy people and they end up not being on your side. I think they harm their causes far more than they actually help. I could be wrong about that, but I think that's far accurate. But back on the protest part. There were protests when like Roe v. Wade was overturned. There were protests across the country, and a lot of them in states that it was not going to affect, because Roe v. Wade just handed the authority back to the states. So states like Washington, you'd have protests, but Washington's not changing their abortion laws. So it's really stupid, in my opinion, to go about protesting in a city that whatever you're protesting, it's not going to be affected. If you wanted to actually make any like difference or try, at all, you'd go down to like Texas or a red state and try to protest there. But they don't. They just do these useless, ineffective protests, in my opinion. But yeah, it's my thing on protests. Like, I agree, protests are useful. I don't think they're as useful now because they just end up irritating far more people than they help. Like let's be if they did protests and they weren't, blocking traffic, which ends up a majority of what they end up doing is just blocking traffic, holding up traffic, they may be far more effective if they did it on the streets or on the sidewalks protesting and traffic could still go. I think people would be far more supportive, I would say. And this is 100% an opinion. I don't have any facts to back this up. But, every time I'm driving and there's a fucking protest that's blocking my way, I just, whatever their cause is, I fucking hate immediately. It doesn't matter what it is. And that's the same for causes I support. Like if it was a 2A protest, I hate them immediately. Although those ones, are generally far more respective than they are, all the other ones. Like when all the BLM stuff comes up, there would be a new protest popping up like every other day, and it just end up blocking traffic, and it'd be a headache. I get, and I suppose those protests that end up like working with the city and have a plan, because there used to be, a lot of protests like in Seattle. But what they would do is there'd basically be a notification beforehand, like a month or so or something like that beforehand, and then they do it in they do it at a certain location, area. And although it would still end up closing down streets, there was at least notification, there's ways to get through. Now, a lot of these protests nowadays, they just show up on the street, protest, and then you're blocking traffic, you're causing delays without any notification, and you just end up pissing people off. And if you piss people off, then they don't want to fucking listen to you and they don't give a shit about your cause. So that's just my opinion on that, honestly, but who cares? Who cares what I think, right? Oh, look at that. I just want to see how that would work. Let's see. Okay. So yeah, that's all I got to say about that. That's all I got to say about that. I'm definitely checking out this Nevada story because it looks hilarious, and it looks up. It's like I thought it was a state trooper. It looks like it might end up being tribal, and tribal it will be far more interesting because tribals don't give a fuck about people, and I love it. All right, so there we go. Paper straws contain chemical toxin. Paper straws contain toxins, forever chemicals, potentially harmful to health, says a study. understand this real quick. All right. Paper straws, which are being pushed across the U.S. as an ecological alternative to plastic versions, may contain forever chemicals that are harmful to both humans and the environment, and were observed more often than in a sample of plastic straws, a new European study has found. Belgian researchers tested 39 straw brands from restaurants, retailers for synthetic chemicals known as poly and prophylactic, whatever substance, PFAS. The studies found that the majority of straws containing those chemicals were, but that the majority of straws contained those chemicals, but they were most common in those made from paper and bamboo. Chemicals are referred to as forever chemicals, as they can remain for thousands of years in the environment. The chemicals have been associated with health issues, including thyroid disease, increased cholesterol, liver damage, and kidney and testicular cancer, and can harm the environment as well. Of the brand tested, 90% of the paper straws containing PFAS, compared to 80% of the bamboo straws, 75% of the plastic straws, and 40% of glass straws. None of the steel straws contain the chemicals. Steel straws for life. The study was published in a peer-reviewed Food Additives and Contaminants. Researchers stressed that PFAS concentrations were low and posed a limited risk to health, given that people use such straws only occasionally, but they can remain in the body for years. Concentration can build up, they said in a release. Straws made from plant-based materials such as bamboo and paper and bamboo are often advertised as being more sustainable and eco-friendly than those made from plastic. Research Dr. Timo Gruffen, an environmental scientist at the University of Antwerp, said in a statement. However, the presence of PFAS in these straws means it's not necessarily true. It wasn't clear whether the chemicals were added by manufacturers or occurred due to contamination in the soil, water during manufacturing. The studies did not look into whether the straws could contain liquids. The presence of PFAS in paper and bamboo straws showed that they are not necessarily biodegradable. We did not detect any PFAS in stainless steel straws, so I would advise consumers to use these type of straws or just avoid using straws at all. Studies come as European countries and some parts of the U.S. have pushed to transition away from plastic straws to alternatives in efforts to be more environmentally friendly. States include California and New York have slapped bans on single-use plastic straws in restaurants. All right, so there's just makes me laugh. Paper straws are far more better. Looks like they're not. Ha ha. Paper straws fucking suck. I hate paper straws. When we were in Canada, my wife, it was like, you know, there was paper straws everywhere, like everywhere, and it was really goddamn annoying. And my wife fucking hated it because like they get flimsy after a few sips. I swear to God, every single time. But I remember watching this video, and this guy was complaining about paper straws. He's like, "Why are you giving me a paper straw and then and putting it in a giant plastic cup? Like, if this was really about the environments and all that shit, then wouldn't it be make more sense to do like a paper cup and a plastic straw? Just give me a plastic straw and give me a paper cup or something to that effect." It was pretty funny. But anyways, we had to deal with these paper straws, and my wife, we were at a restaurant. My wife had to ask for another paper straw because the one she was using was got all flimsy on her. And the waitress was like, "Yeah, I don't understand. I'm starting to wonder if trying to save the turtles, all of that is really worth all this bullshit." So even Canadians don't like paper straws. All right, so I hope you all enjoyed the video. Make sure to follow me at officialwghost on X. It's the best way to find out when I'm going live and all that stuff. Check if you're on my Rumble, follow me right here, Rumble with Ghost, as well as on YouTube. Those are the best ways to watch my videos on my daily show. I also have a second show, Gaming with Ghost, right there. So check that out. I need like 3 more people to subscribe there. I haven't really been posting a lot. I don't think I'm going to finish this Spider-Man game I'm playing, but we'll see. But yeah, make sure you check me out there. Also on Kick as well. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Come check me out. I'm going to definitely talk about, unless something else comes out that's far more interesting, I'm going to try and talk about this Nevada stuff because it's hilarious to me. I hope you have a good day. Peace out. See you later.